You may have heard of menu pricing, or perhaps you've heard of it as the bronze, silver, gold strategy, or the good, better, best, or bundling, or versioning. It doesn't really matter, it's the same idea. This is the idea of packaging up your service and giving the clients different choices. It's incredibly powerful. I've been teaching it since the year 2000, so many, many years, and many, many firms have reported increased prices as a result of that. I describe it now as the first steps to value pricing, and it's a great place to start. It's a great place to start, and it's fairly easy to implement. However, there's so much more that we can do, and in this video, I'm going to take it to another level by talking about the power of options. Let's do it with an example. I talk about a lot this concept of optimal pricing, or finding out what's the maximum price a customer's willing to pay. Technically, it's the buyer's reservation price, and we need to figure out where that is. We have to price at that level, otherwise we're losing money on the table. Let's imagine that you are offering a payroll service, and this is a client that has, let's say, 7 or 8 employees. And just for argument's sake, let's imagine that in their mind, you don't know this, but in their mind, they're willing to pay $600 for your payroll service. And let's imagine that you've implemented menu pricing and you have something that looks like this. And you've built in some scope. So you have, for a payroll at 6 to 10 employees, you offer a bronze, a silver, and a gold. And as you can see on the screen, there's various price points. This is great because we're into the realms of value pricing. People can choose the package that's best for them. The problem with menu pricing, the limitation if you like, is we are still only giving 3 prices. And even though that's much, much better than a single fixed price, it's still only 3 prices. And so when you only have 3 price points, the chances of arriving at a price that's really close to the maximum willingness to pay, whilst way better than having a single fixed price, which is a crazy way to price, whilst it's much better, we could get closer. How do we do that? How do we get closer? What's our next technique that we build into our value pricing system to get better prices? It's giving options. So imagine that before you reveal these prices, you're talking about your payroll solution, and you give the client an option. I call this a preference question, where they can choose something. You might say something like this. You might say, before we go through the 3 different options and the prices, we just need to make sure we understand what's the best way that you would like to receive your payslips. You see, some of our clients are happy with digitally secure payslips and we just send them out digitally. But we also have clients that actually what they prefer is physical payslips, and we'll print those out, we'll put them in envelopes, and we'll send them to your employees through the mail. But actually, we have some of our clients that love both. They want a combination. They want to do digital and they want to do the physical payslips as well, because they tell us they like the security of digital, but also because some of their employees feel more value when they pick up their envelope. So which would you like? And we give the client the choice. Now they will choose the one which they value, which they want, which seems most appealing for them. People love choice. And it may well be they choose to have both, which is pretty cool from your point of view, because what you know is that would be a bigger price. Now, your client won't see what's on the screen right now. They won't see this, but you can see now we've got 9 possible price points, not 3. We've now got 9 different possible prices. These are your workings, if you like, behind the scenes. What now happens is we reveal the price for the bronze, silver and gold based on their preference, based on the option they've chosen. So let's imagine that we have a client and their maximum willingness to pay is $600. If we just went with this, then they would choose the gold payroll and you would be happy because that's the most expensive one, but actually you'd have left 90 on the table. That's lost profit. But now they have a choice, and they may well, if you communicate the benefits in the right way, say, yep, we want both those, that sounds awesome. So you would then reveal the bottom row of prices. Now in this case, if their maximum price is 600, they'll probably either say one of two things. They'll either say, okay, that's great, we'll have that and we'll have the middle option, the silver. You make a sale at 595, significantly more than 510. Or they might say, I really like the gold package though. And therefore you might say, well, the reason why it's 640 is because you want both pay types of slips. Is it really that important you have both? Which is the most valuable to you? And they might then reassess their value based on their perception of the value. They might say, well, thinking about it, I suppose we only really need, we'd like the physical ones. We definitely want the physical. So you would then go back and reveal the middle row at that point in time, and then they have an option that's 590. So either way, they can choose 590 or 595, much more than 510. Bottom line for you is when you give people more choice, when you build complexity into your pricing model, when you build in more price points, then you can work with the client and you'll get closer to the optimal price. I've mentioned before in other videos about other businesses that use menu pricing, and the car companies often do this. For example, Jaguar. If you want to buy a Jaguar XF Sport Brake, they give you three choices. They use menu pricing, they offer you the Prestige, they offer you the R Sport, and they offer you the Portfolio. And you get to choose the package as a customer that fits best for you. But you see, the process doesn't end there, because the successful car companies also understand the importance of turbocharging your menu pricing with options and preference questions. You see, when you decide which car you want, you also get to customize it. You get to choose things about the exterior and the interior and other accessories. If it's the exterior, you can choose whether you want privacy glass or not, whether you want the panoramic sunroof. You can choose what wheels you want. And then through their website, it will take you through a process where you can choose the size of the wheels, the spoke patterns. Why? Because they know that when you give customers options, choices, very often people spend more money and you make more profit, okay? So we need to give clients options. Let me just give you some thoughts on different types of options. Your options might be adding tangible things. This is the things that you do. So ask yourself the question for any of your services. What could you do to offer additional resources to add more value? Give them a choice of additional resources. Or perhaps there's things that you could do. You could offer them preferences, choices, options around saving tax. Or possibly there's things that you can do, give them choices of things that will help them to save profit. Another area is about the experience. We're in the service industry. So it may be you give them options and choices around the level of seniority as to who will be their client manager, who will be in charge of their account. It may be around the frequency of delivery. It may be the speed of turnaround. Think about, for example, the outcome. You might be able to offer them a written report, or it may be at the end of doing the work you offer them some training to transfer skills, or it may be you have some sort of follow-up process you can offer them. To make this practical, let me show you exactly how you would do this using cloud pricing as a step-by-step structured system for turbocharging your results with options. So let's go and look at that now. I have a template set up here, or module for management reporting, or business advisory services if you prefer to use that label, and as well as our scope questions, which might include what accounting system we might use, what's the quality of their bookkeeping, what type of business sector are they in. We've also got preference questions. And so with management reporting, there are a number of different preferences or options that we can give them outside and irrespective of the three different packages we offer. So for example, we might want to allow the customer, the client, to choose how frequently they want the management reports and the meetings. So we've got here, how frequently do you want the reports? Do you want them monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly? And we can set up as many different frequencies as we want. Another preference question for management reporting might be how many times they want to meet in the year to go through their reports. We might want to give them the choice, an option, their preferences for where the meeting takes place. And you might give them the options, for example, of your officers you traveling to them, a third-party location like a hotel, online, a conference call. We might also want to give them choices around where they want specific types of report, divisional analysis, where they want video commentary to go with their accounts, and so on and so forth. Now, to set all of this up, it's exactly the same as your scope questions. So we go into the general settings behind the scenes, the global settings, and when we go into here, we've got the templates where we can edit them. So let me edit our management reporting template right here. And here are those questions that we've got, that we've just gone through. So for example, if we look at how frequently do you want the management reports, then what this one does, it takes whatever the price is that's been calculated so far based on the previous questions, the previous scope questions and preference questions. And now what it does is, because the price is a monthly amount, the way that I've set it up in my template, if they want monthly management reports, then we simply multiply by 1. But if they want them, let's say if they want them bi-monthly, so they want 6 sets of reports a year, then we've got less work to do. We've got to create 6 reports, not 12 reports in a year. So we multiply the price perhaps by 0.5 to reflect that the fact that we're doing 6 rather than 12 reports in a year, and so on and so forth. Conversely, if they want weekly reports, even more frequently than monthly, we might multiply our price by 4 to reflect that we're doing about 4 times as much reporting as if it's monthly. So that's how we set them up in behind the scenes. We can set up our preference questions. We can choose exactly how those questions are asked. Are they yes/no questions? Do you want this yes or no? We could ask for a number, a frequency, and then we can determine how that impacts on the calculations. Do we add the price on? Do we multiply? Is it a percentage increase? And so on and so forth. If you want to dive deeper into the exact how to use the software, either book your one-to-one call with one of our team, or you can get access to the video training specifically on how to use the software.